Hello, my most amazing artists. I hope you've had a great spring break, and I'm super excited to be back. We're going to do something really fun today. We're going to make salt dough. So I'm going to give you a list of materials that you'll need. Definitely ask an adult for my younger guys. Go get a parent or an adult, somebody in the house that can help you get these supplies together. And once you get it made up, you'll be good on your own. Okay, so you're going to need a bowl. It doesn't have to be a glass bowl, but a pretty good size bowl. You are going to need something to stir your dough with. This is just a big spatula, but a wooden spoon would work, or anything that you can stir with. You're also going to need something to put your dough on. This is a cutting board, but you could use a newspaper or an old cereal box or anything that you wouldn't worry about messing up. The point of having this is so that we don't get any sticky dough on your table. Then you're going to need a half a cup of flour, a quarter cup of salt. This is just regular table salt. And you're going to need a measuring cup to do both of those things, and then you're going to need a quarter cup of water. And so after you have all that, the other thing you're going to need is something to cut your dough with. So this is just a wooden skewer. This is what I'm going to use, but you could use like a plastic knife, you could use a pencil, anything like that. Just make sure you've got permission from an adult. All right, so get your materials together and I'll meet you back in the kitchen. Okay, hello my amazing artists. We're about to begin making our dough. So I'm gonna start with salt, and I'm gonna wanna get a quarter of a cup of salt, or a fourth of a cup, same thing right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my container down, my measuring cup, and I'm gonna pour my salt in. Now, I don't pick it up and look at it like this because that's going to change the amount, and I want it to be the correct amount. So I'm going to leave it on the table or on the counter, and I'm going to pour it in, and then I'm going to come down here and shake it out and look at it. Oh, I probably got a little too much, so I'm going to pour a little bit out. Yep, still a little bit much. Get it even. That's probably about right. Okay, so now I need a quarter of a cup of water, and I'd already pre-measured that out, so I'm gonna put that in here. And now I'm gonna do a half a cup right to here. That's double what I did of the salt, a half a cup of flour. Okay, now I'm going to pour my flour in. Once I have all three ingredients, I'm going to mix it together with my spatula. Keep mixing it together. Now, your dough, it's going to be kind of clumpy when you first do it. And so you're going to have to, after you mix it with your spatula, you're going to have to get it in your hands, and we're going to knead it. And you spell knead, K-N-E-E-D. Excuse me, K-N-E-A-D, which is different than like if you knead something. Okay, so we're going to knead our dough. If your dough is a little bit too sticky, that's okay. You can take a little bit of flour and add it to your dough. If your dough is too dry, then you can get some water and you can add some water to your dough. So don't get frustrated or don't worry if your dough doesn't look exactly like mine. You can just add a little bit of flour or a little bit of water. I'm actually going to get a little bit of flour and put it on my dough. There we go, because it was a little sticky. All right, so now I'm going to put the dough on the surface that I'm going to use. I've got a cutting board, but you're welcome to use, like I said, an old cereal box or something like that. Also, if you don't want the dough to stick, you can add a little bit of flour. There we go. On here. Okay, so anytime you want to make something with dough or clay, what you want to do is you want to take it and you can roll it into a ball or a sphere, and then you're going to smush it, and when we smush it, that makes it a slab. That's a really important word for you to know, slab. Okay, and I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to make my slab of clay kind of like a thick cookie. Let's see how we do here. Okay, so now you can see it's kind of round. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to cut my slab in half. And I'm going to use my skewer, but like I said, you could use a plastic knife or anything, pencil, if you've got it. If that's all you've got, that'll work just fine. And I'm going to cut it in half. Alrighty. And just kind of pull it back and forth. Here we go. All right. So I'm gonna take this half, and I think I'm gonna make a bird. So you can take this side, or if you want it to be on the smooth side, you can flip it over. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make eyes for my bird. So I'm going to take my leftover piece of clay, and I'm going to take 1, 2 pieces of clay, kind of even them out, and I'm going to make eyeballs. Now, I'm going to roll it into a sphere. Okay, and I'm going to loosely put it where I want it. Okay, and actually I am going to make these into a slab. I'm going to flatten them down a little bit. We'll do that. And I'm going to put one kind of on top of the other. Kind of like that. All right, and then I want to make pupils. So I'm going to take 2 smaller ones. Roll them in my hands, make pupils. Okay, so then I want to make a beak. And another thing that you can do, if you can make a ball or a sphere and a slab, and now what I'm going to show you how to make is a coil. If you can do all 3 of those things, there's almost nothing you can't make with clay. Okay, so I'm going to roll it in my hands together, right? And this is called a coil. So I'm going to take my coil, maybe a little bit long, let's shorten it up a little bit. I'm going to make his beak. And I think I might move it a little, play with it a little bit. Okay. All right, so the next thing that you want to do when you decide where you want to put your eyes and your beak on your bird, then we can attach it. And the way you do that, I'm going to get some water. Don't look at the dishes in my sink. Okay. So now once I've decided that's where I think I want my eyes to be and my beak, I'm going to move them. And the way we get it to stick is you take a little bit of water and you rub that on your clay where you want your eyes to go. And then I'm going to stick them on there, and that's going to help them stick. Okay, and then I want to kind of make, there we go. We'll do that for our eyes to make them show up a little better. Okay, we'll do the same thing with the beak. Since I decided I like the beak about right there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to make a wing. Okay, so I'm going to take another piece I'm gonna roll it up. Actually, I'm gonna take a bigger piece. Like that. Okay, and I'm gonna roll it up. Then I'm gonna smush it and make it a slab. And then I'm gonna take my skewer and I'm gonna cut it in half again. All right, and I'm gonna use this half to make a wing. Like that, but I wanna put a little bit of texture on my wing. So I'm gonna take my skewer and we're gonna kind of make a pattern in it. Make it kind of look like it's got feathers. Here we go. And then I'm gonna put my wing on my bird. All right, decide where I want it. I think I'm gonna kind of do it like that. Gonna get my water. Make sure and put plenty on there so it'll stick. And you'll feel it. It starts to feel kind of sticky where you put your water. Okay. And there's my bird. And now you've got leftover clay. You can do anything you want to with it. The thing to remember is that if you don't want to do a bunch of little pieces, like it would be cute for me to give him some feet, but as this dries, when you have pieces that are skinny, that are sticking out, they're real easy to break off. And so, so just think about that. But I want you to make something, whatever you would like to make. Be as creative as you can possibly be. If you want to make a bird like I did, great. If you want to make something else, if you want to make a cat or a dog or a robot or really anything you can think of. You guys are so talented. I can't wait to see what you come up with.